everybody. It's Troy Battles, the CEO and partner of Life Science Publishing, and I've got Dallas Harting here, the men of Young Living. How we love it. And so I'm going to talk to him
one of the
today.
few.
But growing.
Yes, this is true.
It's growing, and you're kind of one of the leaders of that. That's what it's so important.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
And so let's just jump on it. Talk about that. What is it like being one of the few men in Young Living? You're Crown Diamond, correct? Mm-hmm. Right? What is that like, and how do you manage all of that? Because it is a little different, right?
Well, it's changed over the years, like, tremendously.
Yeah.
When I was, you know, kind of born into this company.
You were.
You know, and it was all women back then. I mean, it still is a good amount of women, but like it was so much women that all the men's bathrooms at conventions are just converted to women.
They're all converted.
So like we have to find out where we can go.
It's true.
There's only a few, you know, and it's gotten a lot better with a lot more of the younger moms coming in.
Sure.
A lot of the husbands getting involved, and now there's more young leaders.
Sure.
And then you know Gary Young, who I love, he was doing men's retreats to get more of the men on board of this, you know, health path, lifestyle, aromatherapy. And I think that was really powerful. So I think there's a big movement here. And a lot more people are waking themselves up to like health. They don't just want to hear something on TV and take it.
And men are all about that, really.
Yeah.
They want to stay fit, they train, they do all of these, and if they incorporate the oils into that, what a win.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect. And Young Living opened up a product line for more products that are, you know, more active and fitness based. It's so we're in a perfect movement for more men into this company. So yeah, it's a lot different now. You know, I'm a young guy in this, but now it's not unusual for men. And we're a family of Young Living.
Yeah, so. And we just got to get that word and that mission and spread it, right? And I know you're big in Europe, right? That's a focus of yours, which is so much fun. What are some of the challenges there that you're seeing overcome finally? Because I know that there's all this movement happening in Europe. It's so exciting.
Yeah, Europe's really come a long way.
Yeah.
I think the biggest challenge we had was miscommunication.
Sure.
And that's almost anything in business, but there especially with the language barriers.
Sure,
when
there's many, right?
Yeah, when there's miscommunication and they don't understand because there's not language, you know, that Young Living had in place or vice versa or whatever, it was really making it challenging. So the new corporate office in Europe has done fantastic of over communicating.
Yes.
You know, I know that you guys are making more books in other languages, which really, really helps. The internet has gotten, I mean, the websites, being able to translate them and translate them well.
Sure.
Where when you say oil, it's not petroleum. You know what I mean? And like weird stuff like that.
And it happens, right?
Yeah.
Even with the best, so yeah.
So that's huge. So communication, once that's overcome, I think almost everything can be fixed if people understand and can be communicated and just know how much you care.
Right.
You know what I mean? That you're there and you're working on it.
I totally
So
agree.
Europe is just taking off, as is so many other markets for Young Living, which is great. We're such an international company.
I love it. Now, I know you've been involved in education because of your mom, and you're involved with Life Science Publishing, and I know he has a book coming soon, right? It's coming, everybody. But I want to talk to you just about education for you personally. Yeah. How has it supported you on this journey, right, of wellness and oils and just everything?
Young Living's been amazing. And my parents have been amazing because it's always about self-development.
You've got a few authors in the family.
Yes, for sure. So, you know, with this industry of network marketing, it's like so much about self-development. And Young Living is so much about self-development. Like when I started this, it was awkward as a guy talking to them about, you know, lavender oil.
Sure.
When, you know what I mean? Like they don't associate a guy first off with aromatherapy. And then I have to understand, you know, I got to get through rejection and everything like that. So every rank that I've ever hit, it's been overcoming so much within myself.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really
and it's all
is.
about it's all about, you know, like what are your personal blocks?
Right.
You
what
know,
are your personal blocks?
where do you see yourself as a diamond, as a crown, as a royal? Can you
and
visualize
we all have
that?
them too, right?
We do.
I mean, that's super important that people realize everybody has them. Insecurities, things that they don't know how to handle.
And so many times you don't know that you have them.
Right. Until you're in this situation, you're like, I don't know what to do.
Which is also great. We have the feelings kit. We have the oils that really help, you know, unlock that.
Yes.
Because these are kind of tough things to get through.
Yeah.
So I'm a big believer in using the oils and the products. I mean, you've got to be a product of
and having that education and support so people can learn, right?
And having that education. Yeah, there's so many wonderful books and materials that you guys have and so many other people have. That's fantastic to educate yourself. Absolutely.
And I know that's been a big movement for your European team members and things like that, and we're going to continue to support in that.
Absolutely.
So you've been with Young Living since your baby, right? kind of
since
born
the
into
beginning.
it.
Yeah, since I'm born.
So I know you have a lot of memories, and so what is like a favorite memory where you're like, wow, this really changed my life, and I will never forget that moment?
I think it was definitely going to the harvest with Gary in the
yeah.
beginning. I got a great family. I love them, but they're not exactly farmers. You know what I mean?
I'm not a farmer either.
So there was a point when I was a little bit younger that I don't want to say they sent Dallas, but I went.
Yeah, I love it.
And I kind of went to support the family.
To represent.
and those first few harvests I went to, and this was years ago, before harvests were big.
Yeah, this is when it was smaller, a little more intimate.
This is when anyone could get to a harvest, you know what I mean? And now it's you can't even get a ticket.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And the first few ones, Gary was always there.
Of
and
course
you'd be there, and I would, Northern Lights, the tree farm in Idaho, we built the tents, and I was with Gary building the tents that people are going to stay in before there was a building there. So it was memories like that and being with Gary out in the fields that you learn things, and the authenticity and the integrity of this man and this company is I think that's what really sealed the deal for me in Young Living. And wow, I love the industry, but now I really know why my family's always been so much into Young Living.
Right.
It's the real thing. It's the real deal.
And what's great is Gary's fostered it. Of course, Mary's the same way. First of all, hands-on, in everything.
Absolutely.
But they have fostered that same ideal in all of their employees.
Yes.
They are hands-on. They will build the tent with you.
Absolutely.
And that's why I love Young Living, because we do it together. It's
if Gary can make Jared, eat some dirt to test the land to see if this is good soil, I think we're all on the same page at this point.
We're in a good place.
Yeah.
So just a few things so we get to know you. What's your favorite food? You have a favorite food?
My favorite, I love a good pizza.
Oh, of course.
Of course, love a good pizza. I actually like a good steak salad.
Oh, yeah. I love steak. I love anything meat, so protein.
Yeah, meat. I'm a big meat eater, too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I love it. So if there was one word to describe you, what would you use?
I would probably say driven or passionate. Good and bad. Can be to a fault because I really get into things. Yeah. When I'm going to do something, I'm really going to do it.
But that's good.
Yeah. And I think that's what's given me some of the success in Young Living is I didn't want to just tiptoe in this,
Right.
when I really want to learn about everything. That's why education is so vital. Every video that you can watch, every book that you can read to learn about something or
keep you motivated.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's been really, really big for me. So I'd say driven or passionate.
I think it fits you perfectly. I really do. Okay, now is there something about you that nobody would know that you're willing to share?
When
so they can get
when
to know
I usually have that interview question, I usually say essential oils. Because everyone's like, wait, what?
What?
You're into essential oils? But let's see, something unusual about me. I'm a lot more intuitive than I give off. And as I've gotten older, I've kind of tapped more into it. So I'm getting a little more woo-woo, I think. A little bit more energetic and more feeling on things, which is interesting. I don't think a lot of people realize or that I'm even open with some friends about.
That's good.
But it's
part of maturity and that growing process, so I
think it's those oils. I think they help open me up.
They do. Do you have a favorite farm? Just somewhere where you've gone and...
St. Mary's is definitely one of my favorite farms. I've been out there with Gary many, many times. I know that he had such, that was one of the very first, if not the first farm. So there's a lot of emotion there. It's so beautiful up there. I love it up there. And I've done Melissa harvest with my father and with Gary, and that was a really cool experience for sure. I have more respect for that plant and that oil than I ever did before.
It is. It's amazing, isn't it?
So it's those precious moments that you have with Gary that you learn, things that you would have never learned in a book.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So just to kind of wrap up, if there's a message that you wanted to give to the men of Young Living and those that are going to be coming on board, what would you say to help encourage them or let them know this is the place you want to be?
Yeah. Well, I would say, believe it or not, there's more men out there just like you that would like to do this. They may not be as vocal or as in your face, but there's a lot of guys out there. And this is it's such a big movement now. It's like organics or anything or restaurants that are farm to table. Do you know what I mean? It's this is huge. It's not so weird anymore to say, I use an essential oil as a cologne instead of something synthetic.
Right.
It's almost more trendy now. So for guys out there, I'd say just do it. I just absolutely just do it and carry an oil with you. Have a favorite. And don't be afraid of sharing that. There's going to be some people that like it, and there's going to be some people that don't. But believe it or not, there's going to be a lot more people that are into it that are publicly showing that they're into it.
I agree. Well, everybody. Dallas is amazing, as well as his entire family. He's a huge friend of mine and to the LSP family. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
Come see Dallas. I know he's got a book coming soon. And thank you, and we'll see you all soon.
He's pushing that in there. Eventually, it'll come.